So Gerald,
Yes.
what's the excitement about the generator?
It actually ran.
What?
Yeah, I had a guy from Cummings actually come out to the site here, did a couple things, and
That. So how will that change our boondocking adventures?
well, instead of having a smaller portable generator, we'll have this big bad boy all fired up, and we'll be able to run AC, we'll be able to run microwave,
How long will it run? As long as we have propane?
as long as we have propane.
And we have lots of propane.
Lots of propane. Well, this is behind the door here is a 40-pound tank, and then there's two 40 pounds on the other side, so we've got three 40-pound tanks or 120 pounds of propane.
Wow. This is life-changing because this trailer park is really nice and the people are awesome.
Yeah.
But that's not our truck. And that's not our rig.
A little close, but that's okay.
And I love being out in the middle of nowhere. So, but this is all good. And now that we rolled into Elkhart, Indiana, or Middlebury, the guy that came to look at the generator was a referral from the lady who checked us in. It's her son who works for the generator Cummings company.
Yep.
So he popped out. He's on paternity leave and didn't want a penny for his expertise. Got it going, and we're good to go. But she gave us so many recommendations for Amish restaurants and bakeries and things to see and do. I'm like, maybe we should stay a week.
Well, we may never leave.
We might. No, we have to. We have whereabouts unknown. So that's our update.
Yeah. Very nice people here, for sure.
Crazy. I honestly, maybe we were the problem, Gerald, because everybody we're running into is so nice. We are
Off to
Jayco,
the factory
the Mecca, the mothership.
to see how this thing was put together.
We're going on the tour to see how Jayco is manufactured. There's no photos or videos allowed when we're on the tour, so we'll bring you as much information as we can, but we're pretty excited. And we're gonna do some stops, some shopping, and hopefully not have to figure out one more issue we came across, I think, might be with our rig.
Potential.
The water pressure is awful, and at the post where the water comes out, it doesn't appear to be awful, only when we have a shower.
It seems fine, or
all
turn the water
things.
on the sink, it gets really low pressure, but at the post itself, it seems fine.
Yeah.
We've got a Nautilus system on board here. I've got every knob where it's supposed to be, and it's just not performing.
Yeah, so I think this is just getting the kinks out of it. If I think about it really, babe, we've only been on the road like leaving Canada on the road and here. It's less than a week.
True.
And we haven't been on any big trips. Like if this were a 2-week holiday, we would still be like halfway through the trip. So we're getting all the kinks out. We're figuring stuff out. It's a lot right now. So last night we took the night off. We went out for the Amish smorgasbord.
Now that you're ever in the area, you've got to try it out.
I'm never eating again. Like still 12 hours later, I'm like full.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was, they say the best description of it is when you go home to grandma's and she cooks all the things. This was that. I didn't have that grandma, but I can imagine what it would be like. It had all the things, and it had something
fried chicken. You gotta have the fried chicken.
What the heck they do to that fried chicken? I don't know. It was crazy good. And the dessert, I had peach fluff. I've never heard of that. It was like whipped cream flavored peaches. It was lovely, or peach flavored whipped cream. So that was last night. We obviously were able to shower even with the low pressure. More like a military shower or army shower.
Boondock shower.
It was, but we couldn't handle it anymore. The washer did work after it gave a low water warning a couple times, but I did get it to work, so I've done a couple loads of laundry. I want to do a couple more today, but we'll see. We've got a lot planned today. So today is the day in Elkhart and the tour and a bunch of other stops. We'll bring you along. We hope you enjoy it.
are manufactured, put together, and might even help you understand how to fix things. You too.
Bye.
Success.
I said we'd take you with us, and we did. We went and did the Jayco tour. It was great.
We get a good sense of how they're built and where all the components go, and very informative.
And we got to walk through a few new ones and cement in our brains that the one that we have is absolutely perfect for us right now. It checks every single box. But it was lovely to be able to see the quality of how they're built. It was a great tour. They wouldn't let us film in the factory, but an interesting fact was because we're in Amish country, majority of their workers are actually the Amish. And it was interesting in the factory that when it's hot out like now, they'll start their shifts at 5 a.m. because the shops or the warehouses, and there's literally over 100, I think, or 200.
Huge.
They're everywhere, these assembly things. They start at 5 a.m. because they don't have AC, and they'll quit around the time our tour started at 1 o'clock because of the heat. So it was nice to be able to actually walk the facility. They had quit for the day, so we got to walk exactly where they're being built and had a really great tour with our leader named John. So it was a good use of time.
It was a very good use. Like I say, I picked up a lot of stuff, particularly in the underbelly or the undercomponents of the RV, to know how they're situated, how they come out, how they're secured underneath.
And how big, my kind of takeaway was how big the water tank is, the holding tank, as well as the gray and black tanks, and how narrow they are. Like the black tank is probably this deep.
Yeah.
I can see how the poop pyramid can happen. It was very visual for me. Then we went to, in the never-ending lithium battery story.
Please, it's got to end.
It's got to end. We went to a couple stores and struck gold at Ace Hardware with the bolt that Gerald believes he needs to finish the lithium batteries, but we'll see. No pressure.
Stay tuned.
This is like the job that never ends. At the Ace checkout, they had a sample of Dots pretzels, and if you haven't had Dots pretzels,
You got to have Dots pretzels.
you've got to. So we've gotten some Dot pretzels, which I think will be in my menu for lunch today because I love them that much. Now we're just going to go home, see the doggies. They've been left in the AC having their naps. I think they're grateful not being dragged around. And I think I'm going to pull Gerald's arm and get him to drag out the black stone from our storage and grill up some burgers.
Burgers, yes.
Let's go see what G's up to. So we're trying to figure out the water pressure issue. Check if the screens are dirty.
side, we should have high pressure.
Woohoo!
If not, I don't know.
And I'm having a shower redo. And will it stay for more than 2 seconds? I think you solved the problem. You're a genius. The kink in the water line.
Kink in the water line. I've been meaning to change out to a new hose. I haven't yet.
I think you just got a reason to.
I think I did.
I did not know you meant to switch out the water hose, and we actually had a water hose.
We have the water hose.
Okay.
These
Cool.
These kind of hoses are prone to kinks. I like to keep ours in the tote bin that I've got for it to keep it out of the weather. Sometimes if you're not paying attention, these will get a kink in it, and then of course that'll restrict your water flow. So we've got this new one that I'm going to replace it with.
So do we keep the white one as a backup?
Yes, we'll keep it as a backup.
Perfect. Gerald,
Yes.
is that a roach clip?
Well, for us seasoned folk, yes. For the average person, alligator clip.
Another G project.
To it, this big toolbox here, we're going to organize it the same way we did our bins, so that I don't have to go rooting through every box to try and find what I'm looking for.
Challenge accepted.
What I'm looking for now is an electrical wire stripper, and I've got 4 or 5 toolboxes inside the toolbox that now I'm going to be looking for that wire stripper. So, stay tuned.
Are you sure it's in there and it's not in the inventory?
It won't be in the inventory. I don't think. You can check. Maybe check before I take all this apart.
I will. I love it when a plan goes together and he acknowledges my anal organization actually serves a purpose. Let me see. He said it was a wire cutter. Wire splice kit. Do you think that's it? Because that's in bin 4. Wire splice kit, wire connection kit, bin 4. Remember that, because I might forget it by the time I get outside. Would it be the wire cutter splitter connection kit? Bin 4. Yeah, it said wire cutter connection kit.
Yeah. Could be.
Where's bin 4? In the front? No,
No, it'll be.
in the back. Well, let me start to move the Starlink and collapse that bin and see if or the storage rack, and see if I can find bin 4. Well, you look here.
Actually, maybe just look in the sides. Like open up the sides.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What was that? So I don't need to go and prove myself right?
Just hold that thought. So the reason I'm doing this project is this is the other alligator clip that apparently has a broken jaw, This is for our tire minder. It's an amplifying system that I've got wired up here that I hook directly under here to the battery.
And a tire minder is a TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system.
Correct. However, what's happened is this one works great. This one just kind of, like I say, broke its jaw, blew apart.
But in all fairness, that was like 1 week of use. LOL.
Yeah, I don't even think we got a week out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed in the manufacturer that made these, because at the end of the day, it shouldn't fall apart that fast. Now it looks like they've just put a rivet in here and the rivet is pulled through. However, rather than keep trying to deal with this, I'll just cut this off, strip this back, put this new one on, crimp it, and we're good to go.
Awesome.
So the theory goes. The lifeblood. We could be in trouble now. Providing I cut the right one.
You literally scared me.
Strip it back. So, and then if my theory works, put the new one through. And we should be good to go. Put this back on the positive, this back on the negative. We should have a green light up here. And voila, we have a green light.
Voila.
So that's all it was. Now when this other one breaks, I'll replace it. But in the interim, we'll just keep that way.
And where are you going to keep that, and so you know where it is?
Up here.
Perfect. It'll be lost. So today was not only the Jayco tour. We had errands to do, to get supplies, to do some Gerald projects. One of them was figure out the water issue, and that was an easy fix, a kink in the hose. Oh, yes. Humbling.
Sometimes the easiest things are really the easiest things.
Yeah. And then we got the alligator clip, and that went like, that was a 30-second project.
It was like butter, smooth like butter.
And then we have this.
The ongoing saga of hooking up the DC to DC charger.
So Gerald, explained to us what's going on.
Well, simply put, this is our, I don't want to say our old battery, but this is our battery. We've got the negative connection here, and then coming off the RV, we've got two positive cables. My challenge is in hooking up to the new lithium batteries with a DC to DC charger. I've got all these terminal connections. What I'm running into is this bolt is what comes with the battery.
And where does that go?
And this goes right in here. By the time I take these two cables, plus the cable to hook the batteries up in series, plus the cable that comes off the DC to DC charger, this particular bolt is not long enough. Now I thought, and perhaps you can put in the comments, I thought I could take one of these terminals and put it over here so that it's not on all of them together, and then that would give me enough space to be able to fit everything onto the one bolt. However, I get the sense that that's probably not the way to do it, because I was getting a false reading from the DC to DC charger. So what I was looking to do was get this bolt, but only in a longer version. this one here. Went to an auto store, they didn't have anything. Went to a hardware store and they did.
Ace Hardware, we thought we had solved it.
Yeah, we thought we were there. So I come back home to the fifth wheel and I put it into the terminal and it only screws in a little way and then it stops. So that tells me the threading is not the same, and I don't want to put it in any further or tighten it because that'll just strip the threads inside there or strip the bolt or both. So I'm on the lookout for a bolt that is similar in size to this one because this one isn't long enough. Or I'm trying to think of a way I can wire it differently or hook it up differently that maybe I can still continue to use this bolt, but then have maybe an extension come off to positive where I can hook everything into that one side and not separate it, because I think that's where I'm running into a problem is when I separate it. What I'm also doing when we're boondocking is we've got this lithium battery charger that I hook in as well, and so I can run the generator, our portable generator, and charge the batteries up that way. This was my way of doing it until we had gotten our onboard generator running properly. Now the onboard generator is running, however, it's doing what I would call cavitating, so it's not idling smoothly. We do have a person coming out to look at it tomorrow. Hopefully that'll take care of it and get it, but at least it's running, so that makes me happy. But in the interim, I'm still on a mission to try and get a bigger bolt.
Or find a different system.
So
if anybody has any ideas, please drop it in the comments.
I'm not above asking for help.
We're out of our league and learning as we go. So you can mock us and laugh at us, but at least we're out here trying.
Well, I thought it was simple. I mean, I looked at the wiring diagrams that came, and it looked like with the battery, or DC to DC charger, made sense to me. But at this point, like I say, when I was separating these two terminals, putting them on one on this battery and one on this battery, and then hooking up the negative, I got a nice spark, which tells me something's off. Even with the battery disconnect with the RV, I still got a pretty good spark. So that told me that something's not quite right at this point. But we'll keep working on it.
We got nothing but time, baby. And we have hope that the generator now on board is working. So the thing about this generator on board is it's a 30 amp service. So with that we can run the fridge and the microwave and the coffee maker and the smoothie maker and the one AC unit at a time. We have two, but we can run one at a time. Like we can basically camp as per normal, as if we had hookups with this, until we run out of propane. But we have a lot of propane. So that's why this one is so important. Our portable one that we brought from our house was a smaller amperage and can't do as much.
Correct.
And keeps kicking out. So it's like it's there for emergency purposes only. This is the one we need to have going to make what we want to do easier.
Currently what we have set up is viable. It's just a little more of a challenge to do it, that's all. This would be more convenient having this one running. We're heading to a place called Shipshewana.
Shipshewana. Say that fast 5 times. We are not going to the famous Shipshewana flea market because we missed it. It's on 2 days a week and that's not the days we're here. But I am going to some tourist meccas with regards to food. So we'll take you along and hopefully we'll get some of the best cheese and meat and pastries. Apparently the bakery is phenomenal. So we're going to hit up these 3 joints. We'll bring you along. Then we're going to go to what all RVers go to at some point in their journey, Walmart, to get some supplies.
Get Walmart stuff.
Walmart stuff. And then we hit the road again tomorrow. So come along today and hopefully you'll enjoy the trip. Nice.
Very nice city.
So if we were like staying longer, we could actually tonight see the Beach Boys here. Live and in person, the original group.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. Well, they were the first concert I ever went to.
Well, do you want to bring up some nostalgia then and go?
No, I'm good. But I'll put it on repeat on Spotify today. Good vibrations, man. A little challenging finding a spot to park.
Yes, absolutely.
But guess where we are, if you can tell. You know, the one that's sticking out by a mile. We got smart, parked in a field.
We got the whole place to ourselves.
But here's where we're going. Charcuterie heaven, apparently. Yoder's Red Barn. They have a meat and cheese shop. So let's go see what damage we can do. We really should get a fried pie before we leave.
We should.
I think they're like a turnover, right?
I believe so, yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I think we're gonna need a buggy and some time. Sauerkraut. Something called cornmeal mush. Homemade head cheese. Canadian smoked bacon. So we got the meat, got the cheese,
Got the eggs.
got the eggs. Canadian smoked back bacon made in Indiana. I think there's going to be some back bacon and eggs for breakfast tomorrow.
Oh, looking forward to that.
And we got the fried pies.
Yes, 2 fried pies.
She said that cherry and apple, customer favorite. So got apple for Gerald, and of course I take one that's not the favorite.
Yeah,
Strawberry
the
rhubarb.
different one.
You gotta like strawberry rhubarb. My mom, memories of my mom. Holy Nelly, it's a warm one today.
Very warm.
So if you hear the wind blowing, it's just the AC.
according to the truck temperature, it says 42, but that's because we've been sitting in the sun. 42 Celsius.
That's mine. There you go. That's Gerald's. The taste test.
You.
I don't think we had breakfast, did we?
Did not. That's pretty good.
Oh my God.
That's really good.
That pastry though. That was a good one. I see dots. How cute is this?
It's interesting.
Yeah. They make you do the work. I didn't realize they were a cash only kind of thing.
That's fair.
But what an experience.
Black.
I hope you enjoyed coming along with us. We hit all 3 spots, spent money in 2 out of 3. Not bad. I would have bought something at the 3rd one, but it was a cash only, cash or check, and I didn't want to go to the ATM.
Do they still do checks?
Here they do. It was a little overwhelming, that one for sure. But thank you for coming along. We hope you enjoyed it. If you ever get to Shipshewana, definitely go and spend some time at all of those places. Really worth it. We're leaving tomorrow, so we're going to end this video for now. I have no idea where we're going. Do you have any idea, babe?
Somewhere either south or west.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
We're south or west, not north or east. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know if we're harvest hosting, boondocking, or full hookups. I haven't a clue. But we'll figure it out on the road because that's what we signed up for.
Did we? Did
Yeah,
we really?
We did. We're living the life. So whereabouts unknown. That's us. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to chime in on our journeys and give us some tips of where to go. We'd love to hear your comments. Until next time, safe travels.
See ya.